Hello everybody and welcome back to something very different. I've never actually played a player career mode for about 10 years. So right now I'm starting my own player career mode. I'm not sure if we'll do more than one episode, but if you guys enjoy this, make sure you let me know and maybe I'll make a part 2, episode 2, or maybe play out the full season. But yeah, like I said, I don't really have too much clue what's going on. You can see we're just creating our character right here. He's called Harry Ball, born on the 2nd of August 1999. We're going to just pretend that maybe he got picked out of the conference. Maybe he's been picked by Nottingham Forest, of course it's my favourite team, and we're just going to see how we go. We're going to hopefully try and play as sort of an attacking midfielder, left winger. You see how confused I was right there. I had absolutely no idea what was going on. But you can see on screen right now the settings we're using: strict transfers, we're using legendary difficulty. Hopefully it's going to be a nice, fun and fairly challenging couple of games. I think we're going to play pre-season and all the way to August in this episode, so we've got quite a lot ahead of us. I'm not sure how much I'm going to edit some of these clips because you can see clips like this where we're just training probably aren't that interesting to you guys who have seen them thousands of times, but if you're like me who's never played player career mode, I wanted to watch them just to see what's going on. But yeah, we've been welcomed to the squad by the fake assistant manager, Steve Cooper there, the fake real manager. He doesn't have the real face just yet. That's us right there. We're going to change what we look like. You can see us walking behind Jesse Lingard. I didn't even realize you could change your appearance on that first screen. Like I said, I haven't really played too much of player career mode over the past decade. So things like this, where you have to greet your teammates and do these decisions, they're actually pretty interesting. I wasn't too sure what like Maverick points, Heartbeat points, and Virtuoso points did at this point. Looks like we decided to be a virtuoso to begin with and let them know that the hard work begins today. Hopefully that's going to be a nice part of our ethos. Hopefully we're a very hard-working attacking midfielder. Although at the top of the screen right there, you might have seen that we're actually a striker at this point because we haven't edited anything about our player other than I think the birthday was pretty much all we changed. So here's the new look guy. He's got a bit of a beard. He's got brown hair like I have in real life. He's not actually meant to be based off me, but I guess that's just what I designed him off after all. Boots, we went for the Puma Kings, I believe, like I used to wear a long time ago in real life. Untuck the kit, of course. Who wants to play with a tucked in kit unless you're playing as like Roy Keane? We gone for the undershirt. I used to always go for long sleeve shirts, but I don't think like anyone in real life actually wears those anymore. So I thought we would just go for the undershirt kind of look. And of course, long socks, because we don't want to get cold knees, do we, playing in winter in Nottingham. So that's Harry Ball. He's all set up. He's deciding to spend his first 2 weeks of wages by giving money to a animal shelter, I believe, to protect some dogs, which is always a very Heartbeat-like thing to do. So I guess Heartbeat is kind of like one of the good guys. I'm thinking Maverick is like flashy, over the top, and Virtuoso is really into improving, I'd say. If you know anything more about this kind of thing, absolutely let me know. Especially if you guys want to see something like an episode 2 where I actually understand what is going on. But you see, we started doing some training. We wanted to get into that first team. I know training does help you get into it. So we did a nice dribbling one, we did a crossing one, which seemed really easy. But this is all what preseason's about, I guess. Practicing kicking the ball into the middle and letting a centre-back Niakite doing some volleys. Not sure what's going on there. But yeah, we also did a penalty session. We got A's on all 3, and we're probably just going to repeat those over and over again. We got our first chance in pre-season against Empoli. We decided to get played on the left wing, which was a bit of a weird call, because it was my first ever game of player career mode as well. I wasn't really too sure what was going on. I got some good boy points there for passing the ball, which was nice. Some weird stuff going on there. They were through on goal. They decided to do a slide tackle themselves. So we were leading the counter-attack. Our first ever attack, the longest we've ever dribbled. We thought we'd played through a good ball, but unfortunately we were just a little bit slow, so it was offside. And the last little piece right here, we got the ball out wide. We did a nice trick. Look at that, spin move pass. Always love to see that. We called for the ball back. We would get it, but we wouldn't be able to get the shot away in the box, unfortunately. So we couldn't really impact on this game too much. We did only get 15 minutes, and that's going to be what seems like a theme of this. We would go on to concede and lose the game, but yeah, it doesn't really matter too much for us. It's only pre-season, and we were only on the pitch for 15 minutes. So I was learning all about objectives. I was learning all about how to play the game. In that first match, I wasn't really expecting to dominate, and you can see we didn't do too well. I think we got one of the 3 objectives, and it was probably the easiest one. We would get our second chance in pre-season, this time wearing the away kit. And again, I think this is at the Juventus Stadium. We're playing against Spezia this time, one of the worst teams in Serie A, so we had a little bit more hope of performing well. And we'd get on the ball quite a bit in this one, to be fair. We got an extra 4 minutes. I think we came on in the 74th minute. And we were in part of this goal here, right here. We did 2 passes before the goal, so that's like the assist of the assist of the assist. But it was a decent finish from Cheku Kouyaté for some reason, who's playing up front. Central defensive midfielder, not sure why. We would also be involved in this next bit of play. We nearly got the ball in the box, would have been good. And then the bicycle kick cross was unfortunately just out of our reach. Sam Surridge would then score and put Forest 2-1 up. So maybe we were a bit of a good luck charm in this one. We weren't in control of the ball at any point in that attack. It was just good from the AI, so decent performance. Preseason, of course, pretty important for getting good player ratings. And passes like that through are always going to help us get a really good player rating, because when we're one-on-one in the box, we've got the finisher perk, so we're better in the box. And you can see there, we scored. The game is past when it should have ended, but for some reason we're captain, and for some reason there was like the best pass through ever, and we managed to score our first Nottingham Forest goal, so very exciting stuff right there. I'm not sure how many fans in real life would have travelled to Turin to watch Forest play against Spezia in some kind of pre-season competition, but I imagine it would be less than the 20-so thousand that were there in this FIFA match. I think Spezia would probably be the biggest, most supported team of the two. But you can see we got an 8 rating there, pretty good. Goal, we got 4 passes and 2 of them were involved in goals, so that's a good start. We got an 8.1 overall, good to see it. Finesse goal, we got second assist. Yeah, pretty good. Man of the match, it looks like, as well, with that trophy I'm holding. So the manager should love me a little bit for that. Plus 15, not too bad. So even though we got man of the match, we were again brought on as a substitute. And I think this is again at the Juventus Stadium. This time we came on for Emmanuel Dennis. So we were actually playing on the left wing this time rather than left midfield or left centre midfield. And you can see there, our goal was just to get a shot on target really, which hopefully we would result in another goal. So another 15 minutes at the end of a pre-season game, this time against Lecce, who I think are one of the worst teams. We're 2-0 up though, so it's not really too important what we do. You can't see us really losing. There was some decent press from us and Taiwo Awoniyi at front there, and it resulted in us getting through on goal and scoring our second Forest goal. I preferred that one, I think, to the first one because it was a little bit more challenging. We had to actually do a good first touch, and we managed to get some space, and we managed to outside the boot it into the corner. So that was good. You see, defence-wise, Forest are actually pretty solid. Dean Henderson does make some pretty ridiculous saves, not only in this video, but just in general in real life as well. You can see we got the ball on the counter-attack right here, and we're through on goal. You can see the goalkeeper went up. He's sprinting through the middle of the screen, so we tried to just finesse it in from like 45 yards, but it had like nowhere near as enough power. So maybe that's something we can try and get a trait for, or try and improve our stat for. We are only about 71 overall at the minute, so we're not going to be too good. But we still can pull crosses out the bag like that, which Taiwo Awoniyi, our strike partner, managed to finish. There's a nice knee slide, and we are winning 4-1 against Lecce. We're going to get a good result in this one as well, a good match performance, a good player rating, I mean. So hopefully we could be in line for a start going into the first game of the season. We didn't manage to become captain this time. That was Joe Worrell, of course, a fellow Forest fan, captain of Nottingham Forest. But yep, there's our match rating, 9.1. That's really, really good. We got our 2 shots on target like we wanted as well. We got a goal and assist. It's all looking very good for Harry Ball, and it was actually him who was celebrating his birthday, and you'll see how we celebrated in a minute. But that's 2 man of the matches out of 3 preseason games. You can see we just decided to do a party with the ones that you love, because we are trying to become a heartbeat type player. We want to have the good stamina, the good strength that kind of gives. And we also read a book by a club legend. So I'm going to say this is Stuart Pearce because I recently read his book. But you know, it could be Brian Clough, it could be Martin O'Neill, who's just released a new book as well. But that wasn't all we were doing on this action-packed day. We also took a dance class after finishing our book. And then we went over to DFS and we bought a high-end mattress. I think that was well worth the 25 grand that it cost us. Hopefully it's memory foam. Hopefully it's like sleeping on the International Space Station. Who knows? We can't quite afford to build a swimming pool or buy a speaker system. You know, we can't afford them beats with this kind of wage. But here we go. It was time for the Premier League to start. And we were on the bench yet again. We wouldn't come on until the 82nd minute. And we were playing against Liverpool. With a game at 1-1, we tried our best to try and counter-attack. You can see we don't have the best stats. With volleys like that, they're never really going to trouble, especially Alisson in goal, who I think is the best goalkeeper in the Premier League. But we did what we always like to do. We pressed a lot, we sprinted around for 15 minutes, we tried to influence defence and attack. We somehow let old Darwin Núñez go there. We should have been marking him really because we left him untracked, but thankfully Dean Henderson saved us from that one. We got away with that. We have some good players up front here. You can see there's a lot of pace, especially with Brennan Johnson. Taiwo Wanyi is still quite fast. We're not quite as fast, but we are very dirty, and you can see that kind of slide off the ball. I mean, that was kind of dangerous when you think about it. We probably should get a yellow card for that, but I don't think we actually do result in one. We just wanted to try and keep the draw right now, so we were trying our best to block every shot, get in front of any pass, but unfortunately we couldn't really do too much. The ball would end up with us just passing it around the back for a little bit. No big deal. The ball was just in play. We got one last touch just before the game would end. We tried to play through Brennan Johnson, but unfortunately, he didn't quite have the strength to get past Joe Gomez. And that's how the game would end. 1-1. I mean, good result. Not as good as it was in real life, of course. The home game was 1-0 to Forest, if you didn't realise. But yeah, we'll take a 1-1 for sure, especially opening day of the season against Liverpool at Anfield. Performance-wise, we didn't actually do too well, though. We got a 6 out of 10, nowhere near as good as we were in pre-season. So we're going to have to step things up. We're going to have to start training harder. We're going to have to start buying better mattresses and supporting more animal shelters if we want to improve our player to be good enough to compete against the likes of Liverpool. Steve Cooper looked a little bit pissed off right there as well, shaking his hands around like he just didn't care. But this is the players that we're competing with. So you've got Brennan Johnson, you've got Alex Mighton out on loan. He's another left winger. You've got the likes of Morgan Gibbs-White, who can play on both wings really in real life. Jesse Lingard's not too important. There's us, an attacking midfielder, but we're going to change to be a left winger in a minute. You've got Alexander Golovin from Russia, who somehow is playing for Forest on this save. So we do have a decent amount of competition. Cafu, unfortunately, isn't one of our competition. But you can see we got subbed on this time in replace of Golovin. So if we want to make this left wing slot our own, we really do need to perform in games, especially when we can be directly compared to players like Alexander Golovin. We were involved in one of the attacks right here. We did some nice quick passing, which was always nice. We did then try and take a glory shot, which nearly went out for a throw-in. So that would have been pretty dreadful of a shot. We were involved again in the next attack, but Dennis decided just to stop rather than running through on goal, which was a pretty bizarre decision, really. West Ham have a decent team. We were trying to track. You see, we pressed Antonio off the pitch right there. Antonio is a former Forest hero as well. We love him at Forest still. Somehow we got in the way of a pass. Sam Surridge would then pass it through to us, so we somehow got nearly an assist and then nearly a goal. We would then be involved in the next play where we called for the cross, but Dennis got in the way with an overhead kick. So we weren't actually having the best game. We were touching the ball a lot, but not doing a lot with it. You can see we have a rating of 5.8 in the bottom corner, which really isn't too good. But our lack of ability really was proved right there by Bowen, who just shoved us over as we were trying to do kick-ups for some reason. And you see the same here. Lazari just way faster than us. Sam Surridge not able to do much with it. Just generally, our stats are really holding back the team right now. We haven't got enough pace. We're not good enough on the ball. We can't tackle. We can't defend. I'm starting to think that maybe our time at Forest is come a little bit too soon for us, and we needed to prove ourselves maybe at a lower league club instead. So we're pretending that maybe we got picked from Notts County. They're in the National League, so they're not on FIFA anymore. You can see we did such a bad performance that we've become a reserve now, which is absolutely terrible. We got an email from Steve Cooper saying he's disappointed in us, which broke my heart, really. So we decided maybe it's time to request that loan and see if we can get someone like a Mansfield Town or a Lincoln City, where Forest like to send a lot of players. You'll have to wait and see where we end up, because it's going to be a game against Brighton, and that's how we're going to end the episode off. I've decided to split this into 2 parts, actually, because it's going to be a massive video. It's like 16 minutes long. But anyway, we did get a loan offer on deadline day. If you want to find out who it is, let me know in the comments below who you think it is, and come back for part 2, which I'll try and upload tomorrow. But thanks all for watching. I'll see you soon. Cheers and goodbye.